Alright, let's continue where we left off. I figured out where the bug was. So it was completely my error. So let's go and change this back. Okay, so what was going on is we actually called create point here instead of create intent. And I can show you that again. So let's go and say create point, and we'll see that we'll get that same error now. Okay, and see, we got the error just like we expected. So let's go and make this the right object return type now. And alright, and we are rocking and rolling now. So now we can go and create dimensions to our heart content now. So as we just saw that this method can have issues, so let's go ahead and take care of this. So we're going to say that way we're giving users of the wrapper more useful error handling. So we're going to say could not add general mention. And we'll say E. Alright, there we go. So that'll give more useful error handling back for just a stack trace. So we'll at least get a better idea what happened. So, alright, so now let's go back to our main window.cs. Okay, so and oh, and let's actually grab the left points. Let's do that. Okay, so let's debug. Let's not even worry about debugging. Let's stop this, play it. Well, obviously we have some polishing to do. We are adding dimensions now, though. So let's take a look if we have an error in our code. So if we're on the left, oh, yep, let's fix that. Let's make sure we have this one right. Yeah. So, okay, so let's do another run through real quick. All right, awesome. So now we got some dimensions being added. So let's go and see. Let's go and just show that we can get this to work all the way around now. So let's go and minus that down. All right, so now let's say we'd like to. So we've got our top left point, our bottom left point. So let's get our var top right point equals points dot max x points dot var. Okay, so we'll go. We want the so let's add a top dimension. So we're gonna go. So top left point, top right point, and we're gonna make this a horizontal dimension, and we're gonna say view side dot top, and let's say view dot add general dimension. Let's go top right point. And we're gonna go bottom right point, and we're gonna say vertical dimension type, and we're gonna say view side dot right, and view dot add general dimension. So we're gonna go bottom left point, bottom right point, and we're gonna say horizontal dimension, and we're gonna say view side bottom. All right, so let's run that through real quick, and we should have a. The intent now is we should have 4 dimensions all around the perimeter of our square rectangle. And amazing, there we go. So all that work we did getting this geometry ended up making this pretty easy to use. What I will do is I'll give an example. I'll record a video of not using a wrapper and create a dimension so you get an idea of how much code we save by doing this, because it's rather impressive how much code this can reduce. So another way I've seen of doing this is that there's three major ways I've seen of going about dimensions. Every way has its own plus and minus. I think this way has the least amount of minuses. Some might disagree, but that's okay. So let's start off with the first way. And this is the way you're probably going to see in the documentation. So let's go and open this. So as you see, we have an angle here. So if we actually go, so if you're not familiar with Inventor, I wanted to show, so I had sworn that someone had added a tool. They had added a tool in for that. I guess I am mistaken. Ah, there we go. So yeah, they had made that easier. My mistake. Okay, so what used to have to happen is you'd have to assign an attribute to it, but now that we can name faces, this made it a lot easier. Now the general problem is that every single face had to be named for you to mention something, so that made your code so tied to your models, it was hard to have generic dimensions. So your productivity of actually automating drawings just went really low. The other way had the same issue, is you put work points everywhere you wanted to make a dimension, and then you created proxies to those work points. That had the same issues. You had to have all these work points in your model. So it made it so tied. So the way that we had went about it in this demonstration is we removed being explicitly tied to the model. So any part can be queried to get the points you want based on its location. And you, granted, you could have to do additional querying like we're doing to find the exact point that you want, but you gain the advantage of you don't have to have the models so heavily tied to the code. So I think this is the most appropriate way to go about this. It allows the code to be super generic, and I will add some logic in the future that if you're needing to go attribute based or work point based, it will be an option. This will be the primary way I'm going to support through this wrapper. I think it's the most logical and the easiest way because it reduces a huge amount of dependencies and huge amount of dependencies on the model. So it just makes your life easier. But that's all I've got for today. So I'm going to, in another set of videos, we'll go through and actually make the querying functionality for going through and grabbing curves from specific components. All right, thanks for watching.